doing okay. Yeah, I had kind of a rough week, but it's just been alright, I guess. My son got a fight at school, and so I had to actually go and talk to the teacher. So it's kind of hard for me because I really didn't want to leave. Um, but I did. I guess I did okay. But I mean, I went home right away because I just didn't want to leave. Um, I don't know. And then I think my friend's mad at me, and so kind of having issues with her. I don't know. Like, she and another friend hang out a lot, and they exclude me, and so whenever they do that, it just makes me feel like she's upset with me. Um, so yeah, it's just kind of been a rough week.
Sorry to hear that it's been a rough week. Hopefully we can talk about some of those things in our session today. So today it's just a continuation of last session as far as exploring your concerns and the things that have been getting you down and you know the relationships in your life. And then we will do some goal setting as far as helping you work through some of those things and kind of alleviate some of the stresses in your life. So the first thing I wanted to mention from last session was that you had been talking about you were feeling down and how when you first started feeling down, it was when you had your last child, and so I just wanted to see if you'd be interested in getting a psychological evaluation from our psychologist on staff for postpartum depression. So if that's something that interests you.
Do you think that's what I should do, or I mean, I can. That's fine. It seems like I probably could benefit from knowing what's going on. I mean, will that help me understand what's wrong with me, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they'll be able to see if that is it, or if it's just different things in your life that are kind of creating an imbalance. So you and I will work through some stuff like that. We'll talk in the session today about that will hopefully alleviate some of your concerns. But I think that will also be a good thing to do just to double check.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sounds good.
Okay. And do you mind if I take notes today?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's fine.
So, as far as you feeling down, how are you feeling today on a scale from 1 to 10?
Today, if 10 is what'd you say?
10 would be the worst you've ever felt in your life, and 1 would be the happiest you've ever felt.
Today it was probably just like a 6. Maybe it's not like a 10. But at the same time, I'm still feeling pretty upset. But I know I was coming to see you, so I kind of just got myself, a little bit up maybe to come in.
Right. Okay. So, is there anything right off the bat that you'd like to talk about today? You mentioned your fight with your friend or anything like that.
I want to maybe come up with some ways that I can, get back to my regular life. I just feel like I'm not normal.
Right.
And I can't quite put my finger on what's wrong. I know, I just feel bad, and so I guess that's mainly what it is. I mean, like you said, it sounds really good, to set some goals today. Yeah.
Okay. So, as far as you feeling down, how often would you say that you're feeling that way?
I think every day, at least maybe 2 times a day. I mean, it's kind of all the time, but I can really tell the cycling down or something. twice a day, that's probably about average.
And do you ever have suicidal thoughts?
No, I just really just don't feel like getting up. Like I never really ever feel like hurting myself or anything like that. I would never do that. 'Cause, I mean, I don't want to die or anything. And plus my kids, I would never do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Okay, so every day, 2 times a day, the severity level, would you say it comes and goes, or it's always pretty bad, like at a 6 to a 10, or?
Yeah, it's always somewhere around that. I mean, I think some days maybe a little bit better. Like I can tell sometimes if I get out and get like some exercise, it might not. Like I still feel depressed, but it might be like less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe, but yeah, it's usually somewhere probably between like 5 and 8 regularly. And then if something happens, like my fight with my friend, then probably makes it worse.
Right.
Because it just kind of keep thinking about it, and it just makes me feel more upset.
And obviously, it's making you emotionally upset. As far as physically, are you having any like physical symptoms like back inside?
Not really tired, but just really tired. Like
Tired.
I just feel really tired all the time. I feel like, like I said, like it's really hard to get out. So because I just feel tired and like kind of like you have the flu almost, but not with like all the symptoms, but just like in the way like your body feels, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, mostly that's it, and maybe I don't know. Like sometimes I'm tired and then I can't sleep sometimes. So
Right.
I don't know, but that hasn't really been that bad lately. But maybe off and on a couple of times a week at most.
Have you ever tried any like relaxation techniques or anything like that to help with your physical?
Never.
And you had said that you talked about like you feel like your family, your kids, and your husband kind of are annoyed with you, or
Yeah, it's like they just don't really know what to do with me. Like they're just like, oh, just cheer up, or feel better. You should do things, and they don't really understand that. I just feel like I can.
right.
And so, like, they don't know. I guess they can't relate to that. And so, they think it's like this an easy answer, and I don't feel like it is. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, if it was easy, I would just do it. So, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that's probably part of it. They just don't know how to relate to me, so they just don't kind of.
And so in that aspect, you're having difficulties with them. Are you having any other issues with that, or is it mainly you feel like your relationship is broken because of how you're feeling?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm just not a good mother because I can't do all the things that other mothers would do for them. Like, and that's why I'm hoping I don't, like, mess up their lives or mess up the way they're growing up because I'm not being, like, the mother that I should be. And probably the same thing, like, with my husband. Probably, he would probably be, like, a lot happier if he was with someone that wasn't always depressed and sad, tired, like, I'm sure he'd rather have someone that can go and do things with. And so, yeah, I mean, that's probably the reasoning behind most of our issues. Before all of this happened, we were pretty happy. Like, it was pretty good. Like, we just did things like a family. We went places and did things like normal. And I think I was a pretty good mother before now, but for whatever reason, I just can't get motivated.
So, well, hopefully we can get you back to how you were.
So,
Definitely. So we talked a little bit about strengths last time, as far as like you have your friend, you're going through a struggle with with her right now. Did you want to talk about that at all?
Um, I mean, it's really the same thing. I mean, I feel like that she sort of excludes me at times, so it's probably because, like, I'm just kind of a drag to be around, right? I mean, why would you want to hang out with someone that's always, like, looking at things negatively or doesn't really want to do anything? Like, and I think I depend on her all the time, like, too much. I probably put a lot of on her shoulders, a lot of my stuff on her. And so that's probably a big part of it. Like, I don't know. It's not any one specific thing, even though, like, this week, I don't know if we really had a fight or it's just more my, like, perception of her and how she feels about me. I haven't really asked her. I just get mad at her, I guess, because she doesn't want to hang out. Or I think she doesn't. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it might not be as bad as you think it is. She might just be busy and um, and you know just doesn't have the time this week. But then next week you'll hang out some more. But we can definitely talk about that as far as like you know working on that relationship. Um, are there any coping mechanisms or coping skills that you use when you're feeling down?
I don't know. I don't really have anything that works. Like I said, the only thing that I've ever done that has been helpful ever is that, like, whenever I go out and actually get some exercise, I do feel better. Um, and I notice too, like, if I don't let myself, like, sleep the whole day, like, if I actually force myself to do something and I'm not just tired and laying around all the time, I do feel, like, somewhat better. It's just getting the motivation to do that, you know? So I guess that's where it really, like, I guess coming here, I'm hoping that I'll find, like, that motivation to do it, I guess. And then maybe at some point I'll feel better, but, you know, who knows?
Do you feel like you have any negative coping skills? Or I guess things that kind of, you know, bring about your depression more that you do that you realize that you shouldn't do?
Like things that I do or things that other people do?
Either.
Like for me, I guess it is like, I hate to keep saying it, but it's like, you know, like I know if I don't go anywhere all day, then I'm just gonna feel awful. But yeah, I still do it. But like with other people, yeah, if my kids get in trouble at school or if they're fighting or I don't know, even sometimes like something bad happens in the news, then like I'm still like that kind of like makes me more depressed or I don't know, like my other family, like my outside family, sometimes if something dramatic, if they have like drama or whatever, then like yeah, that will make me feel more depressed sometimes too.
Going back to strengths, do you have any strengths like within your community as far as like you know activities that you're involved in or were involved in, or like do you attend a church?
We don't go to church, but like before, like I got depressed, I was really active with like I told you at the gym, I did that a lot, and then like my kids' PTA in school and stuff. I mean, as far as like cultural stuff, like we do like to like we go like so there's this like every weekend like we get together with other people that I don't know how to explain it. So if okay, So yeah, I don't know. Not really. I don't know. I just don't feel like I really have a culture. I'm just white, so like we're not really connected in that way. So I don't know. We used to get together with my husband's like work people and do stuff, but I guess that was really. I don't know. Not really.
Um, so when we're setting goals and trying to, um, you know, kind of address your concerns and work on things, um, do you see any obstacles that could kind of prevent you from moving forward?
I mean, other than myself, because of course that seems to be like my biggest obstacle. But like, I guess like if my kids are really bad or like require me to, I don't know. I mean, I guess they are actually kind of a motivator, but obstacles. I mean, I know when I try to change, it's gonna be hard. And it's probably gonna be like being tired or um, I don't know, something can happen and it just sends my whole day like that. So like, say I go out to the car and there's like no gas, or just like the littlest thing can set me off, and then I'll just be like, well, it's not worth going out. I'll just stay home, or like there's a lot of traffic, whatever it is. So like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then too, like sometimes I think like if I get better and I start getting really active and doing things, like my husband might become more jealous because I'm not home all the time. So that could be maybe a problem. I mean, I don't know for sure, but maybe.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Well, as far as like the little things setting you off, like maybe we can come up with some coping mechanisms for you in order to maybe not get so upset when little things like that happen.
Yeah. Sounds good. Because like now, I just kind of maybe it's not one little thing, but then I'll see like other little things, and it'll kind of all build up. Yeah.
Okay, so we can start kind of identifying what you want your goals to be, and we can track your progress as far as how you're doing achieving your goals and objectives, and hopefully in the end you're improving and better and feeling better and your relationships are improved.
I hope so.
So what would you say would be your most important goal, or what you'd like to begin with?
So, like, overall, of course, I just want to feel, like, less depressed, right? And then, but I guess, like, I don't know. Like, what's something that I can do to, I mean, I know that if I exercise and if I leave the house, then that sometimes does make me feel better.
Okay. So as far as
Temporarily.
your most important goal, you just want to feel better in general, be less depressed, and so that would be like your main goal, and then we can set some objectives for you to achieve that goal. And what you're talking about as far as your like getting out of the house and exercising, those could be your objectives in order to work towards that.
Okay.
So
that's probably the first thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Second, I guess I would say, like, spend more time with my kids, like outside of the house. where it's not negative.
Okay, so that's great. And are there any other goals that you can think of?
Maybe like sleep less. Try and like get on a regular sleep schedule. Because I think that also when I let myself just sleep, then it just makes me more like.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be another thing too. Sort of, I guess, like regulate my sleep or force myself. Like I just don't like coming to you helps because then it gives me someone to answer to, and that's like a good motivator. I guess you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like so now if I don't do it, I have to tell you. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, no one's really noticing, and I can just kind of get away with whatever.
Right.
So it's not like you're my boss, but at the same time, I just feel like you're someone at least that I can say yes, I did this, or no, you know.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, so then as far as your goal, overall you'd like to feel better, and milestones or stepping stones to that, it can be one of the things you said is regulating sleep. How many hours a night would you like to get?
Like, what does a normal person get?
I would say 7 to 9 hours. It kind of depends on your body. Do you feel like you do fine on less sleep, or are like if you get a lot of sleep, do you feel even more tired? Or
Yeah, but I think like before, a while ago, when I was still doing stuff out, before I had my kids, so I think I probably slept like 8 hours.
8 hours?
So that's probably a good number.
Okay. So 8 hours of sleep every night. And then you mentioned you wanted to start exercising. How often would you like to exercise?
I think I just start out kind of slow, like maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
I don't want to overdo it.
Okay. And is there would you like more time with your kids? Do you want that to be a separate goal from overall feeling better, or would you like that to be like within your one main goal?
I think we should maybe set it separately, like maybe try to do like at least one outside of the house kind of activity. Because we haven't done that in a really long time and I really need to.
Okay.
So I think that would be a good one too. Like before I see you again. Maybe.
So once a week,
Yeah.
go outside of the house with your kids.
Yeah.
Do you have trouble getting out of bed?
Yeah. But I was just thinking like maybe if I set an alarm, because now I just kind of, since I don't work and then my husband takes the kids to school, so like I really don't have a reason to get up right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just go ahead and set the alarm and for like 8 hours or whatever, then I'll probably try harder,
Yeah. You would know that you would need to get up and it's time to
Yeah.
get your day started.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what's your biggest obstacle to actually getting out of the house once you're like up and just kind of hanging out?
Maybe like I should probably say that I'll like get dressed, like get a shower and get dressed like right after I get up, and that way I don't know, just put it off.
Maybe have something you're gonna do right when you wake up, like have an activity plan for right when you wake up so that your alarm goes off. You're like, okay, I know I need to get out and exercise like for 2 hours. That's gonna be.
That could be good too, yeah. Like just get dressed, like get ready to go exercise and then come back and get dressed. like in the shower or whatever. So that way it's like planned out. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's probably gonna work.
So as far as spending more time with your kids, you'd like to do one activity outside of the house with them. Is there, like, would you like to be more involved in their school or do anything like that?
Like maybe on the weekend we could just go like to the park. Maybe they really like to go to the park. So like I think at least for this week, maybe the activity should be go to the park.
Okay.
Like on Saturday.
Okay. Well, great. So I think we kind of set up a plan for you. Do you kind of understand what all you want to go over it again, or do you?
I think I got it. Let me
Okay.
see if I can tell you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna plan to set my alarm every night to get up at about 8 hours after I go to sleep. When I get up, I'll go ahead and exercise. Like, just go and do it. Don't like put it off. When I come back, I'll go ahead and like shower and get dressed for the day, and that way it gives me more motivation if I want to go somewhere if I'm already dressed. And then what was the other thing? Oh, for my kids, that we're gonna go to the park on Saturday.
Okay. Perfect. That sounds great. And then more long term, I know last session you had talked about wanting to go back to school and possibly get a job. So maybe longer term, we can talk about those things. But for right now, we can focus on, your immediate feeling better first before we.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't think I'm quite ready for that.
Right. Okay. So we have your plan, and I think that you could do that every week, and we can check back in 90 days and see how you've done the past couple of months.
So I'm gonna see you every week.
You'll see me every week,
Okay.
but checking back every week, and I mean, we'll with the smaller things, we can check in every week and see how you've done. But as far as like the longer term goal of like
okay.
feeling better, that we'll check in at 90 days because you might not necessarily see improvement the first week, and so if you're kind of focusing on that every week by week, then you might not feel like you're accomplishing anything as far as your bigger goal. But tackling little things will make you feel good, and then in 90 days we can check back and see how you're feeling overall.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you feel pretty motivated to go into the
Yeah,
next
I
week?
feel like if I do all these things, then I come back and tell you that I'll feel good. I'll feel like I've done something for myself to kind of fix this issue. So yeah, I feel really motivated.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.